Hey y'all, I am back again with another conversation. I'm not eating right now because I'm not hungry, but I did decide that I was going to go ahead and take my lunch, step away for a little while, um, and just kind of clear my head. And I decided to go ahead and come out to my car and talk to you guys. So yeah, here I am. Today I want to talk about knowing when to ask for help. So how many people have difficulty asking for help? So I'm not saying that I don't ask for help, but I exhaust all possible resources before I ask for help. I'm just accustomed to doing things myself. And I do know that there are things in my life that I am not going to always know the answer to. There are some things even in my training that are way above my head because I haven't elevated to that yet. I get that, but sometimes it's just very difficult to ask for help. Why are we talking about this today? We're talking about this today because I have goals for myself. Y'all know I'm always talking about personal growth and development. I'm always talking about trying to be the best version of yourself. And with that comes change. And so when you have to make changes, regardless of whether it's in your lifestyle, if it's on your job, if it's, pertaining to your education, if it's dealing with your relationships, anytime you have to make change, there you may be presented with needing to bring in outside reinforcements. So for me, I am constantly looking for opportunities to challenge myself, not just in my personal life, but even at work and stuff. And so when I start seeing things that cause me to kind of my antennas to go up, different topics, learning different things, I instantly start asking questions and digging around. And so I had already spoken to my manager a couple of times, as a matter of fact, like during my evaluations and stuff, about just really wanting to kick up my tech game. And I struggled for a long time about exactly what that meant. What did that look like? Where do I start? Um, Understanding if that meant certifications versus going to school, just wanting to make sure that I made the best decision, because nobody wants to spend time doing something and then when you get to the end you realize that's not what you should have did. So it's I have the older I get, the easier it is for me to put a pin in something, the easier it is for me to pause, the easier it is for me to start making different lists so that I can look and analyze at things a lot better. So with that being said, um, I love technology. Absolutely love technology. I love the idea of the fact that technology, like medicine, is ever evolving, ever changing, and especially in this day and age with so many people doing things that are not quite on the up and up, always trying to access platforms and information that they should not be. I knew that the one thing that was not going to change was the the direction that I'm going with what I wanted to do. So it was always going to be technology, because I'm a tech head by nature. Once I discovered it, I fell in love, and we've been married ever since. So I had to figure out exactly, because with technology, like, again, it's like medicine. You have so many different possibilities. And again, you want to make sure that the whatever it is that you take on is going to be relevant to what it is you're trying to do. since I was having such a hard time trying to figure this out on my own, I reached out to someone that I admire. I reached out to someone that I think until I got to know her personally, she was a little intimidating because I just she 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 reminds me of me, um but in a little bit different way. So I was, I don't know. From a personal standpoint, she's super sweet. She's really, really nice. But from a business standpoint, don't get in her way and be playing no games, because she can hold her own, and that is one of the many things that I admire about her. And I decided that I was going to reach out to her, and I was just going to put it out there and see what she thought. And we talked about her being my mentor. So she accepted, and just, when I tell you the conversation we've had, we're going to be, obviously as a mentor, you communicate on a regular basis. And the very first conversation that I had with her, I was super happy. First of all, before we even spoke, the anticipation of speaking to her and hearing what she had to say and getting an understanding of what her opinion of being a mentor means and what the expectations are and things like that. I was like literally hopping in my seat. I was just so excited and elated and overjoyed and overwhelmed all at the same time. But I knew this was the right decision, because when I finally did speak with her, we talked for a while. And it was it was so enlightening. And by the time the conversation was over with, I had so much clarity. I had so much, like, I had a million and one questions in the beginning, but after I spoke with her, I calmed down, and the questions didn't go away, but they didn't seem as important based on what we had discussed. And obviously, because of the fact that this is my life and these are my changes and these are my decisions, I have homework. So she is very, how do you say, she's very flexible, because it's not like, okay, this is what I want you to do and then we're going to meet again. We're not doing that. It's this based on what you're saying. And she asked some very relevant questions of me, which caused me to think about what I said I wanted to do. Because one thing that I took away, if I didn't take away anything else from that conversation, one of the takeaways was I was saying what I wanted to do, but it was so generic and it was so broad, and there was no logic attached to it. So, for example, she was asking, she asked one question like three different ways. And, but the funny thing is, depending on how she asked the question, it caused me to, even though it was the same question three different ways, every time she asked me, I had to pause and really think about how I was going to answer that question. And so when I really started thinking about it, I was like, well, she just asked me that, but she asked me the question this way, and the answer is the same. But why am I having trouble answering her again? And I think that she did that because what it forced me to do was to truly think about my answer and decide if that is how I wanted to answer this question. And so because of that, it caused me to take a step back and say, okay, well, what is it that you're trying to do? Like, for real. I mean, you hear yourself talk. This is your response. But the response was so generic and it was so broad. It wasn't detailed at all. It wasn't, that's just like you ask somebody, why do you want to be a doctor? And they come back at you and just say, because you've always wanted to help people. To me, that's too broad of an answer. Like, what happened in your life that being a doctor is what made sense based on what was the experience? What was the encounter? What was the thing that made you say, boom, I want to be a doctor? This is exactly why I want to be a doctor. Because when you ask a doctor that question, sometimes you're going to get, they had a loved one that was sick. Maybe they traveled to a different country and they experienced poverty in a way, that made them feel like this was the perfect way to give back. I mean, you will have, what was that one thing that caused you to decide that you want to be a doctor? So when I, again, think about how she was dealing with me, that's why I stopped. That's okay, Toni. Well, why is it not now? What is it that you want to do? Why do you want to do that? And if you choose to do that, do you want to do that in a specific setting? Do you want to do that right where you are? Do you want that to be your main focus, or do you want that to be included in whatever your job is? So she was asking me, a bunch of different things. And let me tell you something. When you have to think about what you want to do in your life, how people say, oh, I want to be X, Y, Z when I grow up. Yeah, that's where we are right now. Because again, I knew that technology was it. I know for a fact that that is what I want to do. This is the field that I want to be in. But and I love my job. I love my job. I love what I do. And the question, do I look at it from the perspective of gaining skills that will help me in my current role and with my current team and my current department? Do I need to refocus because maybe I've outgrown my position? Like, these are legitimate questions that I need to ask myself. And so I haven't come up with all the answers yet, but the homework that I got was, there were some suggestions about places to start because of the demand in the field, because of the need in my department, because of the current role that I'm in. There were five different reasons why she suggested that this be my first homework assignment. And I couldn't agree with her more. So as I'm watching the videos and learning about, what my homework assignment is about, and understanding the functionality and how it ties into what I'm doing, I'm like, oh, this is crazy how I'm looking at these videos, excuse me, and the screen is familiar, but as it pertains to a completely different software. So it's like, that was one of the reasons that she mentioned it, because of my experience doing something else. I have experience dealing with Microsoft products. And so this was another reason why she suggested I start there, because she felt like I would be able to better relate to this particular product, because I'm already familiar with something that's similar to it. And I'm just looking at this stuff going, man, this is why she my mentor. This is why she my mentor. Okay? I couldn't have done a better job. I couldn't have done a better job. I tell people all the time, there is a reason for everything. I don't believe things just happen. I don't believe that. I believe that there is a purpose and a reason for everything. And I truly believe, because I've met this woman, I worked, closely with her and her team. I have had very candid discussions with her about just different things. Um, Again, when I got to know her on a personal level, I was like, wow, she nice. She cool. You know, I just couldn't believe it. But I also feel like she's an amazing source or resource with regard to technology. And I am super happy because I think that I know that I'm going to learn a lot with regard to technology from her. I'm going to learn a lot. I'm going to understand the industry a lot better because although I am technical support, I'm still technically credentialing, and the technical part of the credentialing didn't come until we went electronic about 6-7 years ago. So I have not fully immersed myself in the IT side of things. I'm just literally, I got my feet in the pool right now. And I know that from the technical side of things, I'm going to learn a lot. But I also feel that from the aspect of dealing with people, not letting things affect me personally, because I struggle with that. And I tell people all the time, I'm not management material. I'm not. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because as a manager, especially in a big corporation, you cannot say and do certain things. And honey, I'm not trying to be funny. I don't ever want to be in a situation where I can't speak my mind. And I'm not saying that I want the right to be ugly to people. No. But what I am saying is there's a lot of confidentiality that goes on. There's a lot of being responsible for other people's actions that go on. There's a whole lot of you got to bite your tongue, and I don't want to work like that. My manager, my director, let me tell you something, they the bee's knees, because I would the strength that these women have to be able to move in the position that they're in and handle all the things that are thrown at them. Y'all got me. I love you to pieces, but I don't wish to have your job or anything that comes along. I don't care about the money. No, ma'am. Nope. And I'm not just saying my manager and my boss. I used to be a property manager. And I mean, when you have to depend on people actually just something very simple, just do your job. When you have to depend on people just show up and do their job, and you got people who don't want to show up and do their job, but they still want to check, that's crazy to me. That is crazy to me. And I don't understand how people move through life and they have the attitude that they should be able to kind of do what they want to do and still get a check. I don't get it. So looking at her, she is very chill. She's laid back, but she gets business taken care of. When she needs to be stern and strong, she is. She don't flinch. She don't blink. She don't. This is what it has to be, and this is why. And I need to know how long it's going to take you to get it there. And I am just. It's hard for me because sometimes I can be very passionate, and then it take a minute to turn it off. And I never want to be in a situation where I'm viewed as unprofessional, because I'm very professional, but I'm also very passionate. I'm very professional, but I'm also very, I'm not going to say even tempered. I have a low tolerance for the BS. I'm very professional, but I'm still human. And my pet peeve, one of my biggest pet peeves is being disrespected. And at any time, if I ever feel like I'm being disrespected, it is a challenge for me as to how I manage that. How do I process that? What do I do about that? And sometimes it takes me a minute. I'm one of those kind of people that, somebody will say something and then I don't have a snappy comeback. It might be 2 o'clock in the morning and I wake up and I say to myself, I should have said this, that, and the other. It's because I'm not that snappy comeback kind of person. I've never been. It takes me a minute to process what just happened and what was just said in order for me to know how to respond. So I don't know, but all I'm going to say is you have to know when to ask for help. Because if you don't ask for help, you may never accomplish your goal, or it may take you longer, or you may not be as successful in it as you could have been if you'd have just allowed yourself to be open enough to ask for that help. So I'm going to say right here that if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for coming over. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button and turn on those notifications to all so that you are never missing any of my uploads or my live streams, which I will be going back live. Not really sure when. If you are hey, part of the fam bam, thank you for coming back. Thank you for rocking with your girl, and I sure do appreciate it. Y'all make sure that even if you just leave a comment in the comment on the video just saying, hey, I'm sliding through, checking you out, watching the replay, whatever it is, please start interacting with me on my videos. I see you guys are watching them, but if y'all can leave me a comment, say something, let me know if you agree, disagree, if you have any suggestions, some recommendations, some questions. If you want to talk about anything particular, drop it in the comment section and let's all interact with each other. Okay. So this is going to be, my lunchtime vlog with you today. We just having a quick conversation about knowing when to ask for help. So I'm going to recommend that you take the time to reflect on this conversation. Take the time to look at your life and figure out if there's anything you need help with that you need to be asking somebody to help you with. Stay tuned for members only content that'll be coming. And if you're not a member, you can either join the membership, 99 cents, just saying you love your girl, you want to support me, or you can join the membership that has member only content, including podcasts. My She Thoughts are now member only podcasts, and there are more podcasts that will be coming. Podcasts that will be coming. Various topics. I will be having guests. I am going to be posting some business and lifestyle modification content that will be members only. I am going to be tying some of this to my website as well as my other social media platforms. So anyway, that's it, y'all. Know when to ask for help. Open your mouth and ask for help. Hey, closed mouth don't get fed. All right, y'all. See you next time. Bye. If you're not already a member of the Fetch fam, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and download that app, scan my QR code, and get to scanning those receipts. You might as well take advantage of it. You're already spending the money. The receipts translates into points, the points translates into cash, and you can redeem that cash via store card or cash card, or you can donate to charity. Well, all right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here, but you know we don't do so without saying, love yourself, love somebody else, and until next time, y'all take care. Bye.